Hey Max, thank you so much for checking out my vision. As you know, on my website I've posted a bunch of different things that I wanted to do and accomplish around town. There's things that I wanted to do economically, there's things that I wanted to do with the schools, and this is just one of the many aspects that I wanted to touch. It's windy days, so we're going to try to get across as much as I possibly can. But we're right here, right now we're here at the Middlesex Greenway, which is a few miles of a walking and running path, and it goes between Edison and Metuchen. And one of the things that I wanted to do, again, this is one of many plans, is to have this converted into an outdoor museum where people that are walking along it can have monuments along the sides of it, as well as taking all these unkept buildings, the backs of these buildings, and converting them into murals. And what I wanted specifically for this one would be an outdoor women's museum. And I think it's important just because all the things that are going on in the United States, I think it's important to make sure that we showcase women's history. And specifically what I wanted to do was let's just say every 50 to 100 feet between this right here, as well as when we go down the rest of the Greenway, I wanted to showcase the women's perspective from Edison Township dating back to the World War. As you know, Edison was the largest embarkation site in the United States during the World Wars. That was through the Raritan Arsenal. And I want to showcase the history of what women have done from the perspective of a woman living in Edison Township. So, for example, Rosie the Riveter actually has a great significance because she was very much a part of the war, as well as Edison Township was. So her mural would be here, as well as going down the line over the course of the many decades, how a woman's perspective growing up in Edison has evolved. And I want to do this through by incorporating the high school students as well. I want them to feel like they are a part of the process. Hello. I want children, especially girls that are growing up in Edison, to feel like they have a piece of their idea and what they wanted in Edison Township. And so I want everyone to have a sense of pride, and I want everyone to know where they come from, specifically in Edison. That's my vision for this particular area.
Councilman, you're running in a competitive Democratic primary. You do have the support of the Middlesex County Democratic Committee. Your main adversary in the primary says, well, you're not going to be independent for Edison, and yet it's county land that we're on right now. So I'd imagine that you'd be able to argue that the relationships that you're building with the county will be to the advantage of Edison. Could you riff on that a little bit, but also address your rival's criticism that, in fact, in this era where trust is such a factor, having the county line of the establishment party is not such a good thing? You say what?
So the first thing is I am independent and no one speaks for me. That's absolutely clear. The other thing is I'm actually very proud of the fact that I have these relationships with people around the state, around the county, on a local, state, federal level, because those are the type of relationships that I will leverage to make sure that we bring more to Edison. The fact is that we've been saying that we've been saying that we needed to prioritize what we get from the county, what we get from the state and federal funds. Those are the type of conversations that I can quickly pick up the phone and have, because I have relationships with these people. And these are the decision makers that are going to be pouring money into not just New Jersey and Middlesex County, but I'm happy to make this, I'm happy to leverage my relationships for the betterment of our constituents. And the fact of the matter is that in politics and government, this matters. Having relationships with everyone matters. And I'm going to be working alongside our state legislators, our federal elected officials, to make sure that we get more money than we've ever gotten before in Edison Township. That's my commitment, that's my goal. I'm going to deliver on it.
Now, your other adversary, the Republican, that presumably you'll face should you get through the primary in the general election, says that Democrats are so divided that there's really no coming back. How do you demonstrate to constituents that you can in fact heal this town in time for the general and in time for facing the Republican Party?
My message is unity, and the Democratic Party will be stronger than ever right after I win this primary.
How?
We're going to win.
And how will it be stronger? Given the level of vitriol in the Democratic primary, how do you bring that back? How do you get those people who are now your opponents on your side?
They're political opponents, but like I said, I'm sticking to the message of unity, and I'm sticking to the message that my camp is big, and the only way we're going to get past the divisive politics in Edison is by maintaining a bigger tent, and that's exactly what I plan on doing. I want to have as many people included as possible, and I'm confident the Democratic Party will be stronger than ever right after I win this election.
Could you talk about this project in the context of the other projects in your vision for the town, and also how do you pay for all this?
Sure. So this one in specific, I've explained how to, I have projects, what Max is referring to is I have projects around the whole town. I have economic development projects, school projects to address overcrowding, and then I have arts project, which is where we are right now. This one in particular is a nonprofit. The Greenway is a nonprofit, so I'd be working alongside the county and the Greenway Commission to help deliver this. So the funds that are going to be coming from this are not from Edison Township taxpayers or county, any taxpayers at all. They're going to be coming from the large corporations that are currently in Edison and around Middlesex County, and I want them to contribute to this. And it's like I said, I'm going to leverage all my relationships. I'm going to pick up the phone with the people that I already know, and I'm going to say this is the project that we're working on, and I'm happy to get this done.
You've obviously been out there talking to voters, pounding on doors. Has anything? I get that impression. Has anyone brought to your attention something you didn't know about that you're adding to your campaign message, your campaign priorities?
No, to be honest, I've stressed so many times that I have worked and I've been a part of the Edison government system since I was a child, since I was 14 years old. So I am very confident with addressing questions, addressing voters, addressing their concerns, and I know what I'm doing. I'm ready to hit the ground running, and I'm actually very glad that I took part in that debate, which was last week. My opponent did not, and there's another one next week, which is going to be on TV Asia. I've already committed to it. I said anytime, any place, I'll take part in a debate, and I look forward to debating him if he shows up.
You're challenging him to show up. You'd prefer him to be there.
I would love for Edison Township to see and compare both individuals. And I think every Edison resident deserves to see who is more qualified, who has more knowledge. It's our civic responsibility to make sure that everyone can get the facts and see who is the most qualified individual to run this town. It's the 5th largest municipality.
Thank you, sir. Anything you want to add?
No, thank you, Max.
I really appreciate it.